I got a surprise invitation by way of Chris Merrill at the International Writing Program.
With less than a month before the International Flower Festival was to be held, invitations were extended to mayors from select cities across the globe, including Iowa City.
Until only a few weeks before we went, the dates were still uncertain, so we had to scramble to get visas in time to make this happen.
Christopher Merrill, author and director of the International Writing Program, was the catalyst for the invite. For years, the IWP has hosted Iraqi writers as part of its residency program.
It's a place where books are taken really seriously.
And during his travels to lecture at universities in Baghdad, the teachers and students he encountered made a strong impression on Merrill.
What impressed me at every turn was the absolute commitment on the part of professors and students to the nobility of writing and of literature. That's something I think that we hold in common.
And it was in 2013 that another bond was formed. While visiting on behalf of the U.S. State Department, Merrill first began helping guide Baghdad towards its goal of becoming a UNESCO City of Literature, an achievement Iowa City reached just 5 years prior.
This was drawing on its long and illustrious history as an artistic and intellectual capital of the Arab world.
With help from Merrill and other cities of literature, Baghdad also earned the designation in 2015.
It's been a tremendous boon to Iraqi literature.
And it was through that connection that Mayor Jim Throgmorton was invited to the International Flower Festival.
They treated us with extraordinary warmth and generosity the whole time, and enabled us to see aspects of Baghdad that I think no tourist now would ever be able to see.
Along with attending the festival, Throgmorton met with Baghdad's mayor, the first female ever to be appointed to the position. He delivered a proclamation that emphasized the connection between the two cities. Other highlights of the trip included visiting bookshops, the beautiful displays for the festivals, and meeting many of the locals. Mayor Throgmorton told me the story of a young man they met whose dream is to come to the United States to become a jazz musician.
I or somebody said, "Can you play your sax for us?" He was so thrilled. It was so exciting for him.
Merrill sees a chance to build a relationship with this city in Iraq, a country that has been plagued by decades of revolution and war.
And I think we could imagine how Iowa City, a small city of literature, might interact with Baghdad, a large city, and in some fashion help to heal the wounds of a war.
And although most of their trip was quiet and safe, the two did experience a startling reminder of the violence that still takes place.
On the last night we were there, as we were driving back to our hotel, and right after Chris Merrill said, "You know, we could be driving on any major street in any city in the world," like 2 minutes later, there was this massive car bomb explosion to our left, maybe 500 meters away to the left. It killed maybe 3 or 4 security officers.
Still, Merrill says Baghdad is noticeably more vibrant than in his previous trips. He sees it as a sign of better days ahead.
Of course, terrible things continue to happen, but while we were there, it was mostly quite safe. And that freedom of movement was, for me, the biggest change, the thing that made me think we are now in the end game on the way to a genuine and lasting peace.